Who wants to harvest some sweet potatoes? I kind of do, kind of don't, because it's a little early. We're about to get a storm coming through this area in the next few hours. I've got this small raised bed here, which I know has some sweet potatoes in it. I showed a short the other day that showed the corner here when they were peeking out. And I'm getting kind of itchy. We still have some inside left over from last season's harvest. They're drying out a little bit. They're sprouting like crazy. Still totally edible. But when they run out, it'd be nice to have at least some cured in the barn and ready to kind of follow up right behind them. And so that's kind of where my head is right now. Plus, I mean, we love watching potato and sweet potato harvest videos, and I'd love to contribute more of that to YouTube. What I'm thinking is this though. I don't know in this bed how many slips are actually producing really well-formed tubers at this point. There's 26 in this bed. I think it's a 2x10 raised bed, small little job. These slips were actually transplanted in here a second time. They were in a small raised bed outside of the garden, transplanted there on May 12th, I think it was. I had a video on that. It got popped by deer after they actually grew out pretty well. I mean, they had a pretty good system, probably for about 3 weeks, had a really nice root. Shoots got hit. I pulled them all out of there, transplanted them here. They recovered fine. 6 went into a bed over there. So number of days in the ground for these, if you count from May 12th, is probably close to 100. I don't know what day I transplanted here because I didn't actually track that. But what I'm thinking we're going to do is this. Up in this northwest corner here, this small little section here, I'm going to go ahead and take my pruners and take the top off of the most northwest plant that I've got here. Clear that back, pull that one out, see what we're looking at. Based upon his success, we may move further down and clear the whole bed. Maybe not. The storm's coming through probably around noon. It's about 9:15, 9:30 right now. So let's start with this one, see what we're looking at, and then from there we'll assess whether or not we're going to continue harvesting today. Even if this turns out to be a bit of a fail, we've still got plenty of beds out there in about 3 weeks that are going to be coming out, so all good. The hardest part about this harvest video is actually getting the camera set up to hit the spot I'm trying to get to, because I'm dealing with a bit of a vining mess. But we've got our pruners, and I can see up here in this corner where this guy's coming from. And let me get the camera closer so you can kind of see what we're looking at on the surface right now. So they're cresting pretty good. He's loose and wiggling. Got to make sure I find the right stem to pop for these guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and, gosh, I really wish I knew which was which around here. Okay, give me a quick sec. I'm gonna go ahead and snip some of this out and we're gonna take a look. So I just overly aggressively was trying to move vines out of the way, and it looks like I snapped the whole vine system off of number 2 here. So let's go ahead and get him out. Okay. That's a nice shaped root. That one's a little small, and this guy's a bit rinky-dink, though I totally eat these things. Let's dig around the base of that one a bit more and see what's what. Oop. That's another winner. But there's another guy down there. Not too much of one, but he'll cure and he'll eat. And who else we got in here? And this is the second one down. Another little one. And then this top guy, who was our original target, we're still going to get him because that's what I said I was going to do. And now when I do full videos later of the harvest of sweet potatoes, I'm going to definitely make sure that I clear all the vines out ahead of time. Let's see how this guy's looking. Oh, wow. Yep, he's jumbo, and then some. And it looks like so is his friend here. Anybody else in this area? Probably some little nubs. Viney pieces here and there. Some viney pieces I will eat, some I will not bother with. And it looks, oop, here we go. Oh, wow. There's another one. So if I'm not mistaken, that's everything from those two plants. And now, I can tell you right now, this northwest guy was much better than his neighbor to the south. Let me show you real quick what that one particular guy landed. One slip right here, what he scored. And there it is, folks. That was the northwest. That was his southern friend. Look at the size of those. I'm gonna have to get those in the kitchen today, drop my scale and let you know. Not so impressed obviously with that one, but that middle guy, actually, you know what? All three of those guys are not bad sized. 1 and 2 are great. Number 3 is a little small. 1, 2, 3 here are all nice solid shapes and sizes. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good start. Now here's the next question. Do I finish harvesting this bed right now? I honestly don't know if I want to keep going or I want to give them a few another week or so. Based upon that one, I say yes. Based upon the other one, I'd say I would hold off as far as harvesting versus not. So let me sit for a minute and think. I just checked the forecast again, and it looks like I'm still clear until noonish. Yeah, we're doing this. I'm gonna clear all these vines out, and we're gonna see what we got underneath there. Oh, by the way, how'd you like that? 5 pounds, 14 ounces for that one slip. Didn't put the other one on the scale yet. We'll do a full weigh-in at the end of this video, but in the meantime, let's get cracking before we get stormed out. Okay, so a couple challenges. One, obviously vines are a pain in the butt. 2, I've got one good looking slip up in that direction. And they're all probably pretty good looking. That's covered in ants. And they look red, so probably the bitey kind. That should be fun. But in the meantime, we gotta get these things out. Man, these vines are a mess. But yeah, so when I harvest, I use my hands. I try not to use too many tools for damage purposes. And I suppose we'll just kind of put them on the bed best we're able. Not quite sure in how many different directions these are going to be growing. It's a very tightly packed bed. It's well tighter than 1 square foot, because I think I said this is probably 2 feet wide by 10 feet long, maybe 12 at the most, but I don't think it's 12, I think it's 10. And there was 26 in here. There were 26 in here. So I think I'm gonna move these off to the side for now. Get a nice visual of that once they're done. And something tells me that some of these are gonna be well ahead of others, especially when we saw that first one, and now I'm sitting here looking at some of these tiny little fingers. But again, that was what I knew. That's always the risk. Some are going to be just monster performers versus others, and some are going to have some fun shapes. There are multiples in there. and has to how to get them out without breaking them. The answer is you probably don't. You cure them like that, you bring them inside when they're cured, and then you start dicing up best you're able. Ooh, I think we got a big old winner here, folks. Along with thunder in the distance. All right, hopefully no ants get me in this side of the bed. But this guy here. Okay, come to daddy. Come on. Come on. I know there's more. Did you grow out from underneath the bed? Oh yeah, you did. Fantastic. Okay. Ugh. One plant. Oh, still finding stuff from some of those earlier ones. Oh yeah. Forget all I said about what someone did or didn't have. I'm probably missing a ton in here. I think this bed's probably gonna go at this point. After I'm done with this process, I'll move the weeds, the vines out of the way, and then break the bed down physically, take that wood out of there, get this compost moved to another bed, get this pathway back. But right now I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab my shears, start breaking these things up. Not bad for one slip there. That's making the assumption there's not even more under here, which there probably is. Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, I think this is going to be a pretty strong pile here. We're not yet to the ant hill, but let's go ahead and be careful with this because it looks like we got a bit of a vining mess here, and I don't want to aggressively snip and break anybody in here, especially if we're going to have some world beaters and record setters. Oh yeah. Come on, baby, nice and easy. There we go. Look at that smile. Yeah, there's another two. These two right here from one slip, along with this guy, and pretty much anything else that might be in here that I still haven't gotten to. There's another one, and another one, and another one. All from that. Oh, wow, you gotta be kidding me. And another one. He might not have been from that guy. But what we do know is that one guy produced quite a bit. Still moving along, and I am not unhappy with how things have gone. It's been very, very hit or miss right now as far as whether or not they've produced big honking sweet potatoes or just kind of stringy little guys. But as tightly as we have packed in here, and no real consideration to when I was taking slips from my sweet potatoes inside as they were sort of sprouting this past spring. Like, I didn't look at a sweet potato and say, oh wow, you're a great one, let me make sure I get slips off of you. I didn't do much of that. I basically looked at the slip regardless of the sweet potato and said, hey, you're a good sized slip. I think you're gonna work really well as far as establishing as a plant, and I ran with that. I really should probably be more discerning next year, kind of keeping the best looking sweet potatoes I've got more isolated, so when they sprout, I'm really all on top of them as far as getting slips off of them primarily. Not that I can't get some of the slips off of some of the less impressive sweet potatoes, but really prioritizing those ones that just flat out look better. It may or may not pay dividends, I don't know. It just seems to me like if it's not too much work to do that, it might not be a bad move to make. Now this raised bed was originally intended to be just a small raised bed that I was going to use for either deeper tapping carrots or parsnips. This is all homemade compost. It was put on top of, like when I first put this bed in place, I just dropped it right on top of the wood chip because this was a pathway, and then top dressed it with mostly undecomposed leaves and grass clippings and let it break down over a couple of years. And this is the end result after all of that, is just composting in place basically. But it's time for me to return this section back to a pathway because it was a little too inconvenient for me to try to get through around to the bed behind me because this one was in the way. But I definitely, thank it for its service. It really did a good job for me for what I did put in here. But it's time for me to sort of prioritize rearranging the garden a bit for a little easier use. And we're getting ever closer to my area of ants. That's going to be fun. Got to figure out how I'm going to do that without getting bit and stung too much. So if you hear me say ouch and start running, you're going to know why. Specimen. Less of a specimen, still edible. Now, one thing I like about some of these smaller ones is they're super easy to eat. Well, they don't take. I don't think they take as much time to cure because they are small, so less call it space for them to need to convert their starches to sugars. But when it comes time to cut these things up, it's just take your knife and run it right down, done. So obviously, this is the part of the process that I'm looking the least forward to. But let's start at this corner and see if we can't start moving things around a bit. And maybe I can kind of sneak around the ants without getting popped too badly. I actually think this is a pretty worthwhile plant up in this area where the ants were, only because, I could be wrong, but it looked like it was pushing a lot of good stuff out of the ground. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to shake them. I was wrong. Nothing too impressive there, but nothing too depressing either. That's an... Oh yeah, that's a mess of ants. Woo-wee! No fun. And for anybody out there saying, dude, why aren't you wearing gloves? The answer is, yeah, I should be. We are harvested. Let me go ahead and get these things kind of cleaned up, dusted off a little bit without damaging the skin, laid out, get those ants off there, and get a good solid look at what we've got. And here, folks, is the full harvest. My rough estimate of this is about 55 pounds. I say rough estimate. Our first one that we showed on the scale was about 6 pounds, 2 5-gallon buckets. They usually weigh about 20 to 25 pounds each in my experience, so call them 22 each. And then my last bucket was about 9 pounds. So 6 plus 9 plus 22 plus 22, round down a little bit to 55. I think that's a fair estimate. And we are just getting started. Definitely some over here hitting above their weight class. And then the stragglers over on this side. These over here are going to cure really quickly within the next week or so. I'll just leave. My curing process actually is just to leave all of these in this barn for probably a couple weeks. And then just they'll migrate inside onto the shelf. And that process of leaving them out here in sort of the natural heat and humidity and then bringing them inside to where it's a little cooler and drier because we're running the air conditioner seems to be a good curing process. I've done this every year for the past 3 years, and except for 1 year, I've had no issue curing. Like I said, I have not had a bad potato this calendar year from the ones I harvested last year, and they're now on the shelf for going on 11 months. So thanks for coming out today and sticking with me till the end. If you like what you saw today, please feel free to give the video a like and comment below. Any questions? I'll answer anything you throw down there. And in the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.